Ambassador Eniola Ajayi, Nigeria's ambassador to the Netherlands between 2021 and 2023. She joins us in the studio this morning, looking very beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you
Glad
for
to have
having
you.
me.
Yes, certainly.
I will start with what is known. You have also served as what they call an ambassador extraordinaire and plenipotentiary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to the UK.
No?
To the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Yes.
Interesting. This whole ambassadorial back and forth, what do you make of it?
That your question is too vague. Can I ask you to be more specific?
And when you saw the list,
yes,
and then you heard all the hoopla that people were making out of it, how did it come across to you?
Well, the first thing that everybody has to understand is that the president has the right to choose the people that will represent him abroad. They first of all represent the president before they now represent the larger community called the nation, Nigeria. So the president has the prerogative to select whoever he deems appropriate to represent him. The thing is for them to understand what the president requires of them and to do it. That's the truth about representation. Anybody can be picked by the president of any country to be an ambassador.
So it didn't matter, or rather, you don't think it matters what the questionable angles of the personal lives of some of the people that had been appointed?
Of course it matters.
Okay.
One of the things, but I'm not suggesting that anyone has a questionable past or character or anything. One of the things written on our letter of credence that you present to other countries is that this person has been found worthy in character and in everything to represent the president of the country and has the full authority of the president to execute orders on behalf of the country. And there's all the powers. That's why an ambassador is called extraordinary and plenipotentiary, because you have the full backing. Apart from the president of countries, the only other group of people that they don't take their biometrics at embassies when you are going to use your diplomatic passport are ambassadors. They are recognized as if they are the president because they represent the country in another country. So is that simple? So
when, I know, Shola, Jockey, I'm sorry, I know you're coming from, but so when you hear, first of all, the fact that there was such a delay of about 48 months, and now it evoked, well, there are those who would say that if we had an ambassador in the US, it probably would have been able to stem certain tides between Nigeria and the United States of America. This is not the first time we're being labeled the CPC, and so help the public understand what you think happened, what could have been different if there was an ambassador.
The truth is that a lot of problems could have been averted, especially because there's somebody speaking on our behalf. As we speak, there are foreign service officers, even of ambassador ranking, in our missions, who can speak on our behalf. But there's an extent to which they can go because they're not formally accredited to those countries to play that role of an ambassador. The ambassador in ranking, they are highly placed, highly knowledgeable, and very experienced. But because they don't have that authorization, they cannot say, hey, wait a minute, this is not the situation. And this is what the situation is. Because some of them may not even be invited to places where they can make that representation. So it's all about being authorized to represent. So that is what this delay has cost us, really, to be frank.
You know, before we spoke of, you know, how the people chosen as ambassadors represents the president first and then the larger society. And, you know, one thing that's sure, you said it's only the president that has a right to choose whom he believes should represent him. You know, so what's the criteria, you know,
for selection?
For selection, because you know, there are particular people on that list, and you said, you know, we don't want to talk about anybody's character. It's really not our business. But, you know, there are some people that there was a backlash and there was an uproar, like, you know, why is this person there? Why is that person there? But what's the criteria for choosing someone that will represent the person that leads the land, and for that person to command the same respects as the president would command?
Okay, thank you very much. There are many things that are taken into consideration in the selection of ambassadors. One of them is that this person, there's a particular need from different countries. You know, there are things that, for some countries, over the years, you will send somebody who is a military personnel or has a military background, maybe for some reason, to such countries. And then for a place like the Vatican, you will usually send a Christian. And when you are sending an ambassador to Saudi, you will send a Muslim, just for the sensibilities and the sensitive nature of such postings. Usually, they are highly skilled people, well-educated. The ambassadorial position is one position where a former president can be sent to represent a country.
Right, okay.
So, when I served in my first tenure as ambassador, we had Supreme Court judges retired. We had generals retired, doctors, people in education, different people who were found worthy to represent Nigeria in different countries. So there are different things you look at. And of course, we have the career people. Usually, career ambassadors get sent to places where we have multilateral engagement, like the UN,
right.
the European Union, different places like that. You would usually have a career ambassador. But someone like me also got posted to the Netherlands that was also responsible for 5 permanent representations, where you required a lot of skills to be able to navigate the multilateral setting. So it depends on the core competence of a particular ambassador to be sent to a particular country.
So there has, excuse me, there has to be that.
Yes, because we have to be sensitive to what that country. First of all, that's where an agreement is executed. An agreement between countries that, yes, this ambassador is acceptable to us for you to send. And then bear in mind that even though the president has the right, the Senate also has an oversight where they screen first before an agreement is requested for a particular ambassador for a particular country. And when they say yes, that's when the ambassador can go. So there are different things you look at in terms of core competencies and all. But one thing I want to say is that irrespective of your background, as long as you are properly educated, you are given what is called a station charter to be able to know what is expected of you in this particular country.
What are the limits?
Yes, the president could tell you that, oh, what I'm after in this particular country is for you to make sure our relationship in this particular area remains cordial and that your representation is very robust. Oh, we are interested in improving on our trade relations with this particular country, and so on and so forth.
Sorry,
so it's called the station charter.
Okay, well, apologies. So do you think we have, please, if you can do this in just about 30 seconds. Do you think we have a focused, a harmonized, if I can use the term, foreign policy that every ambassador, career or non-career, can easily understand and assimilate?
Oh, yes. Nigeria's foreign policy has not really evolved too much over the years in terms of what our priorities are. Our priorities are first Africa and then all other nations. And the other beautiful thing about Nigeria's foreign policy is that we don't really carry baggage. That means we are friends to all and enemy to none. That's why we're non-aligned, and we are able to take intelligent decisions and an informed position on issues. Nigeria does not take sides. We look at each case and we determine on what we think should be Nigeria's position on this particular matter.
Representing the president?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just the president and the country.
The nation.
Yes.
In terms of playing the diplomatic long game, there's been this issue over time. I don't know how much of it you think or see that have been addressed, but you may want to share from your own experience. We have heard claims of chronic shortage of funding, affecting our diplomatic outreach. Some propose a comprehensive review of the geographical spread. Some even are suggesting that we also review the number of missions we have abroad. How do you see this affecting Nigeria's global standing and effectiveness?
Okay, yes, it's true that we've had shortage of funds in many of our missions, but I am not really of the opinion that we have more missions than we require. We could do with keeping a smarter number of people in our missions. For example, the mission where I served, I used to say that we really don't need two administrative attaches. Let me just use that as an example. Because the work that was required in that particular mission, I'd rather have an extra, maybe foreign service officer, who will be able to do the core of the work that we were doing. So the number of missions is not a problem. Funding is something that we must look at a way to make it effective. The reason is the budget even for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is in Naira. And with the fluctuations in exchange rates, you may have budgeted what you thought would be enough for a particular mission in Naira. But when the exchange rate goes haywire, you cannot change that because it's in the budget. We have to get the amount that is put in the budget. You cannot exceed it. So this is what causes problems of funding in our foreign missions. We need to look at how Nigeria can look for a way. Maybe there was a time they were talking about putting it as a first-line charge, get it directly for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs so that there's enough funding to do. Believe me, foreign relations are costly, but they are worth it. Not doing it is actually costly, and not doing it well. So we need to pay attention to the foreign relations of Nigeria with other countries of the world. We need to pay critical attention to it. Because one person standing to defend the country, I remember that time a Nigerian young man put something in the heel of his shoes. He took the ambassador in the US at the time to prevent the US from putting Nigeria on the watch list or whatever list they had at the time. Because he stood and said, this is a one-off case, we're not like this, and this boy's father reported this matter to you before he committed this atrocity.
Was it the underpants boy? Was it the shoe? The shoe and the
one with shoe, yeah. So this is what foreign relations, apart from all these political issues. The other issue is trade. If you are not in the room, a lot of deals are going on that you cannot access even for your nation. And for me, apart from inclusion, investments is also critical. Yeah. Investment to and fro, making sure that you're overseeing it, that things that should come to Nigeria are coming to Nigeria, and that Nigeria is also able to take its goods abroad to be able to sell for profit.
Okay. Right. Be that as it may, madam, with this, funding issue and what have you, some people have asked, would it be better to cut the number of ambassador nominees or those people we send abroad to represent us, to cut the number? Maybe this will help us solve our funding issues. But you have said that, not having someone representing the country is more costly than, the funding issue. But, even be that as it may, doing so may require amending the constitutional requirements that every state has an ambassador. Do you think there should be a review? Really, would that help us?
Honestly, I'd like to be frank with you. Luckily for me, apart from being an ambassador, I also have a political background. That means I'm a politician. It's not all right to say, let's not every state in Nigeria be represented. If we have 109 missions, let's say, okay, 12 of them are like consulates. So we have roughly 90, is it 97? Yeah, about full-fledged missions. So if Nigeria usually does like maybe 50-50, that means there is enough room to accommodate 36 ambassadors within that number. And I think every state would say that we have a good talent that we can present as nominees to represent us, even though the person has to meet with the approval of the president. So I don't think the way out is to say we don't have to get a representation from any state. We don't want any member, any part of Nigeria to be marginalized or to feel like they are not important. So yes, it's okay to pick from every state, but we'll make sure we pick the talent that can do what is required for our country.
There are so many questions that I want to ask you, and I would love we will have to bring you back to talk about that funding issue, because it's a very, very critical one. It's a very, very critical one that's, though quite a number of people have cited as compromising, or rather standing the risk of compromising all of the foreign goals that you talk about and all of that. But then, first of all, you authored this book, Mastering Diplomacy. I didn't even know I was going to be having a copy, but I was going to ask you questions about it anyway. Did it come from your experience as an ambassador, or what is the intention for putting it together?
Okay. Like you will see, reading my first line, I wrote, I was accidentally, because I didn't know I was nominated by my state. And then I was at a meeting and my phone kept buzzing, and then I found out that I had been nominated as an ambassador in 2017. So, and I had no knowledge of what the journey would be like. So in the process, I sought knowledge.
Right.
I got Ambassador Ajayi to Olukoni, he corrected me, to give me some insights on what to expect on the journey. Then he also recommended a book by Ambassador Olushola Shanu of blessed memory, which I read. And then I learned a lot more about etiquette and what is to be expected from my sister, Excellency Erelu Bisifayemi. And of course, I'm a lifelong learner, so I read and learn. So I said to myself, after I recall, that I want to be able to do something that you can put in the hand of any new nominee, just like myself, who just called and was thrust on the world stage. With some training, they're still going to be trained before they leave Nigeria.
Okay.
But not with too much to know what to expect. For example, I didn't know that I would have to do what you call vin de nord. That's do a reception for all the ambassadors of that country that you just arrived in, to show you, to present yourself to them, and to...
After presenting yourself
after you're presenting, Yes, to their government, your letter of credence.
Right.
Then you do that.
Ambassadors of all other countries.
Yes, you host them.
Wow.
You know, to like a dinner or a cocktail and all that. And they get to know you.
All right.
You know, so all those little nuances, little things about diplomacy that mean a lot, very crucial. So I decided that I'm going to put it in a book so that an average person can just pick it up and read, and they will have a better insight, and they will be able to get up to hit the ground running.
How did you first feel emotionally? Did you have butterflies?
No, I don't know, there's something about me. I'm very dutiful.
Okay.
I'm like, if you call me now, if they call me tomorrow that, Eniola, you're going to preach in first service, I'll first of all say, yes, sir. Okay. And then I'll say, Father, what do you want me to speak about?
Okay.
And then I go and study, and then I go to that stage, I deliver the word, and I move. I'm not, I don't know why, I'm just like that. I'm somebody that is like a soldier.
Yeah.
You just say, okay, so Eniola, you'll be made an ambassador now. An average person will be thinking of, oh, so now I'm excellency. I'm not like that. I'll just be like, okay, so what will be required of me?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? That was when I realized that what we all need, and I hope ambassadors the nominees are listening, inclusion, investments, image building, and innovation. What do I mean? Nigerian citizens must feel included. Once they have access to you, you can do no wrong. Investment is the reason we were sent out there, the bottom line. It must bring tangible benefits for Nigeria. Image building, yes, image matters. And that narrative must be told by us. So you must have a vibrant website and a beautiful social media handles where you project Nigeria and Nigerians. That was what I did. So anytime I came on, people would say, Eniola, you're doing so well. I'll be smiling. How did you know? Because I told you. I showed you the work, stage by stage. And lastly, innovation. In your service delivery, in your representation, it must be robust. People must know that Nigeria, the Nigerian ambassador has arrived. And you will deliver at every turn. With dignity, with respect, with humility, with a beautiful smile, and you will accomplish.
Well, I guess this is a, should I say, diplomacy 101 for the new nominees, particularly the non-career ones who have, you know, accidentally, been nominated. But you can't say no. It's a call to national service. The title of the book is Mastering Diplomacy, Essential Guide to International Relations. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Ambassador Dr. Eniola Ajayi, Nigeria's ambassador to the Netherlands 2021 to 24.
Yeah, no, that's why we put the date.
2023. Also served as ambassador to Hungary with concurrent accreditation to Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, and Serbia. She also served as the immediate past ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Thank you so much for your time again this morning.
Thank you for having me.